Let's face it, trying to make sense of digital marketing for your small business can feel, well, like you're just lost in a maze, right? The walls keep moving.
Yeah,
You're bombarded with information and figuring out what actually works and what's just noise. That's a real challenge.
it is indeed. The digital world, it evolves so rapidly.
Yeah.
And for small business owners who are already juggling so much,
Yeah.
feeling overwhelmed is completely understandable.
That's precisely why we're diving deep today. We've got this fantastic resource all about digital marketing, specifically for small businesses. We've been poring over this really practical PDF loaded with strategies, stuff designed to help businesses, of all sizes, not just stay afloat, but actually carve out a real competitive advantage.
And what's great about this guide, I think, is that it's not just abstract ideas. It gets down to the nitty-gritty.
Exactly.
From understanding how search engines actually operate to effectively leveraging social media, your website, even those crucial email communications.
Yes. So our mission today is basically to sift through the jargon, pull out the truly actionable insights. We want to take the mystery out of digital marketing.
Yeah, demystify it a bit.
Make it feel less like this impossible mountain to climb and more like a clear step-by-step path you can confidently walk. We'll even be highlighting some strategies that won't cost you a dime.
Which is so important for small businesses. There's often this perception, isn't there, that digital marketing needs a hefty investment.
Right.
But that's simply not always the case. With some smart planning and making the most of freely available tools, you can achieve some really impressive results.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The guide really emphasizes right off the bat that in today's incredibly competitive marketplace, digital marketing isn't optional anymore.
No, not at all.
It's absolutely essential regardless of your size or sector.
That's spot on. And the advantages are clear. You have the potential to connect with this vast, highly targeted customer base.
Huge potential.
To truly engage with them. And perhaps most crucially, to track the impact of your efforts almost instantaneously. That immediate feedback loop, it's invaluable.
It really is. And it directly tackles that major concern for small businesses, budget. The guide stresses that a significant amount of effective digital marketing can be done without spending a fortune.
Right.
And even when you do invest, those paid efforts can be incredibly strategic, delivering a strong return if you have a solid plan.
The guide includes a really insightful quote, actually is translated here. Take on digital marketing. Which translates roughly to doing digital marketing has a benefit in terms of cost effectiveness. It could be said that the expenses are lower, but the results are better.
Now, that's music to the ears of any small business owner watching their bottom line.
It really underscores the potential, doesn't it? Achieving significant impact without necessarily needing a huge budget, provided you have that well-defined strategy.
Right.
The guide highlights that the key is just being proactive, getting started, plus a commitment to ongoing learning, constantly testing new approaches.
Staying and iterating.
Yes, and refining your tactics based on what's actually delivering results for your specific business. It's all about that iterative process. Try, learn, improve.
Okay, now, the guide introduces a really useful framework from HubSpot. Attract, convert, close, and delight. Sounds simple enough.
It is, yeah.
But how can our listener practically apply this to their business?
Well, this framework, it provides a clear, simple structure for organizing your digital marketing efforts.
Yeah.
So the attract stage, that's all about bringing the right kind of people to your virtual doorstep.
Okay.
Turning strangers into visitors.
Oh.
How? By creating content they actually find valuable.
Like blog posts.
Blog posts that answer their questions. Using relevant keywords so they can find you easily in search engines. Sparking interest on social media. That kind of thing.
Makes sense. You're essentially putting out helpful stuff that people are already looking for.
Precisely.
So once you've got those visitors engaging, what's the next step in the framework?
That's where convert comes in. The goal here is to turn those initial visitors into leads.
Right, leads.
People who've shown a genuine interest in what your business offers. This involves using effective tools like clear calls to action, CTAs,
CTAs, yeah.
well-designed landing pages where they can find more specific info, easy to fill forms to capture their details. Even things like QR codes can work here. connecting online and offline.
So you're essentially offering them more value in exchange for them saying, yeah, I'm interested.
Exactly.
Then we move on to close, which sounds like the crucial step, turning those interested leads into actual paying customers.
That's exactly right. This stage focuses on nurturing those leads, building that relationship. Email marketing, automated workflows. They can be incredibly powerful here.
Okay.
You're providing more tailored information, building trust, and guiding them towards making a purchase when they're ready.
All right, so we've attracted them, converted them into leads, closed the deal, they're customers. But the framework doesn't stop there. What's Delight all about?
Delight is absolutely vital for long-term success. It's about continuing to nurture those customers after the purchase.
Okay.
Providing exceptional service, consistently offering valuable ongoing content, fostering a positive relationship. You turn satisfied customers into loyal advocates.
Brand evangelists.
That's the goal. Those people who will enthusiastically promote your business to others, hugely valuable.
Now, underpinning this whole framework is inbound marketing. The guide really emphasizes this approach. What exactly is inbound marketing and why is it so suited for digital?
Inbound marketing at its heart is about using valuable, relevant content to attract people to your blog, website, social media.
So pull, not push.
Exactly. Instead of intrusive outbound tactics, inbound focuses on drawing potential customers in with information they find genuinely helpful or interesting. Once they're engaged, you build those relationships and ultimately convert them into happy, repeat customers.
And the guide specifically highlights that digital platforms are ideal for this inbound approach, right?
Absolutely. Digital channels provide just a wealth of methods, places, different pathways to attract those visitors and potential customers.
More options.
Yeah, and the interactive nature of online platforms allows for much more creative, precisely targeted inbound strategies compared to, say, traditional one-way communication.
And the guide is crystal clear. There are a few key online assets that are basically non-negotiable for any small business serious about digital marketing.
Yes. Your website is your central hub, your core online presence.
Home base.
Right. Your blog is where you consistently share that valuable content to attract and engage. And your social media channels, essential for building community and connecting more personally.
So they all work together.
They have to. These three elements form the core of a cohesive, effective digital marketing strategy.
Okay, the guide then takes a step back, just to make sure we're all on the same page, defining these fundamental concepts. Let's start with the big one, digital marketing.
Right. Digital marketing, it basically encompasses all of your online marketing efforts, using digital channels, Google search, social media, text, email, your website to connect with current and potential customers.
So everything online.
Pretty much. Website design, online ads, email newsletters, even online brochures or downloads. It's all part of the digital marketing umbrella.
And the guide makes it clear that good digital marketers see these as interconnected pieces, not separate things.
Precisely. They understand how each individual online medium supports the broader marketing objectives. It's about creating a unified strategy, not just, throwing random tactics at the wall.
Then we come back to inbound marketing. The guide calls this a pull strategy. What's the key difference there?
Yeah, pull. Inbound is about attracting potential customers to you. How? By consistently creating and sharing content that's educational, helpful, solves a problem they have.
Instead of shouting at them.
Exactly. You're not pushing your message out broadly. You're creating valuable resources that resonate with your ideal customers and naturally draw them toward your business. The long-term goal is building that lasting relationship, encouraging repeat business.
Okay, so creating valuable content is clearly central here. The guide then dives into content marketing specifically.
Content marketing is that strategic approach. Consistently creating, publishing, distributing valuable, relevant content to a clearly defined target audience online.
With a purpose.
Always. The primary goal is attracting and acquiring new customers, ultimately driving profitable actions. It's all about providing value up front, building trust, establishing yourself as a knowledgeable resource.
And all this content needs to align with where a potential customer is in their journey towards buying something, right? The guide introduces the buyer's journey.
Yes. Deeply understanding the buyer's journey is absolutely fundamental. It's the process people go through.
The stages.
Right. First, becoming aware of a problem or need. Then actively evaluating different solutions, and finally deciding to purchase. The guide breaks it down into 3 key stages.
Let's walk through those quickly. First, the awareness stage. What's happening there?
Awareness stage. The buyer realizes they have a problem, a need, maybe an opportunity. They're starting to identify what they're struggling with or trying to achieve.
Okay.
Your content here should educate them about their problem or aspiration, not necessarily about your solution yet, just helping them understand their situation better.
Got it. Helping them define the challenge. What's next?
That brings us to the consideration stage. Now, the buyer has defined their problem and is actively researching potential solutions.
Looking at options.
Exactly. Different approaches, different types of products or services, weighing pros and cons. Your content at this stage should help them evaluate those different possible solutions.
So you're positioning yourself as helpful, knowledgeable, guiding them through the options, but maybe not pushing your own thing too hard just yet.
Right. And then the final stage is the decision stage.
Makes sense.
Exactly. Decision stage. The buyer has narrowed down their options and is actively comparing specific products or services. Now your content can focus more directly on why your product or service is the best fit.
Highlighting your unique benefits.
Your value proposition. What sets you apart from the alternatives they're still considering?
Okay, now that we have a good handle on these core concepts, the guide shifts focus to actually defining your own digital marketing strategy. And it starts with a fundamental question. What do you actually want to achieve? What are your goals?
Precisely. The guide strongly emphasizes that strategy is about thinking about the why before you even think about the how.
Why before how? Good reminder.
Taking that step back, deciding on the overarching objectives for your digital marketing activities.
And the guide lays out some key initial steps in this strategic thinking.
Yes, clearly defining what you want to do, outlining how you plan to do it, what outcomes you realistically expect, and critically, how and when you'll actually measure your success.
Because without clear, measurable goals,
it's impossible to know if your efforts are actually working.
Right. The guide provides some really clear, practical examples of goals a small business might set.
Right. Things like increasing brand awareness, just getting more people in your target audience to recognize your brand, your products, your services.
Or getting new customers.
Exactly. New customer acquisition or lead generation, reaching new people, guiding them through that buyer's journey we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And another key area, growth from existing customers, encouraging repeat purchases or getting them to try other products you offer.
And the guide really hammers home the importance of making these goals specific.
Absolutely. It brings in the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Vague goals like get more leads aren't very helpful.
Not actionable.
No. The guide gives great examples. X number of qualified leads from content downloads in 1 month, or % increase of existing customers buying a secondary product within 1 year, or even % growth of social media followers within 2 weeks.
Those are concrete, trackable objectives.
Exactly.
And the advice is, don't try to boil the ocean, especially when starting out.
Exactly. The guide wisely recommends focusing on just one primary goal initially. Concentrate your efforts, get some tangible progress, build momentum, then expand.
Makes sense. Okay, once you know what you want to achieve, the next logical step is understanding who you're trying to reach. The guide talks a lot about understanding your audience and creating buyer personas.
This is absolutely critical. If you don't deeply understand the people you're trying to connect with, their needs, pain points, motivations, it's incredibly hard to craft a message that resonates.
Right.
Buyer personas are basically detailed, semi-fictional representations of your ideal customers. They help you visualize them, understand them better.
And the guide recommends prioritizing these personas.
Yes. Before you create any content or launch campaigns, identify your most important target audience segments. Then take the time to create detailed personas.
Give them names, pictures even.
Yeah, names, pictures, outlining characteristics, daily routines, interests, challenges. It helps make them feel real. And there are tons of templates online to help structure this.
The guide uses Misha the photographer as an example, right?
Yes. Misha identifies the worried bride for her wedding photography, stressed, needs reliability. Then Jake, the coffee shop owner for small business photography, needs marketing images. And a marketing manager at a large retail brand for potential business growth consulting.
Those concrete examples really help illustrate the value of thinking in terms of specific people.
Definitely.
Okay, after understanding your audience, the guide says it's crucial to really know your own brand. Conduct a brand health check. This feels foundational.
It absolutely is. Your brand is your company's personality, what you stand for, your core values, why customers choose you. The guide poses some really important questions to ask yourself.
Like what specifically?
Questions like, what do you stand for? What are your strongest characteristics? And crucially, how do these core elements impact your online presence?
How does it look and sound online?
Exactly. Website visuals, the language in your emails, the tone on social media, it all needs to be authentic and consistent.
And the brand health check itself involves answering specific questions outlined in the guide.
Yes. It starts with truly understanding your customers, those personas we just talked about. Then, what problems do you solve from their perspective? What are your unique benefits? Those 3 to 5 things they get from you they can't get elsewhere.
Your unique selling points.
Right. What's your brand promise? What can customers consistently expect? Then synthesize all that into a comprehensive paragraph capturing your brand's essence. And importantly, refine that down into a single, clear, compelling value proposition.
That single line sounds like the core message for everything. Now, no business exists in a vacuum. The guide rightly points out the critical importance of analyzing your competition.
Absolutely vital for informed decisions. And the guide makes a key point. Competitors aren't just those offering the exact same thing.
Right, it breaks it down.
Yes, into 3 categories.
Yeah.
First, direct competitors offering the same stuff, similar customers. Second, indirect competitors, different products maybe, but competing for the same customer budget or fulfilling the same underlying need.
Okay.
And third, comparators may be a similar look and feel, or businesses your target audience frequently uses or admires, even if they're in a different space.
That's a much broader view of competition, and you can learn a lot from studying them.
Exactly. Learn from their successes and their missteps. Identify what seems to work for them, but also where they might be falling short, areas you can capitalize on. It's all about understanding your own unique differentiators and highlighting your distinct value.
Finding your edge.
Precisely. Your unique competitive advantage.
And the guide provides some very practical steps for actually doing this competitive analysis.
Yes. Suggest starting by searching industry keywords to see where competitors rank. Research them thoroughly. Maybe buy their products, read reviews, explore their websites, subscribe to their newsletters.
Get inside their world.
Yeah. Ask your own customers about their perceptions of competitors. Observe where and when you see their online ads. Follow them on social media. Even consider paid online tools for deeper insights into their website traffic and performance.
That's a pretty comprehensive checklist. Now, once you have a strategy, understand your audience and competitors. How do you know if it's actually working? The guide moves to preparing to measure results and identifying key metrics.
Right, moving from planning to tracking. Tracking results is essential so you can make informed adjustments based on what's resonating and driving your business outcomes. And what constitutes a good key performance indicator, a KPI? Well, that depends on your specific goals and campaigns.
It uses a helpful example, a blog post with video content to illustrate relevant KPIs.
Yes. For that example, relevant KPIs could be number of visits to the post, video views, video engagement, likes, comments, shares, clicks on CTAs within the post, actual leads generated from that content.
And comparing.
Yeah, even comparing lead generation from posts with video versus those without.
So you're focusing metrics directly tied to the objectives of that specific piece of content. And the advice is to get familiar with these KPIs before you launch anything.
Absolutely. Define what you'll measure and how before you invest time and resources. Establish that baseline. And consider if geographic or demographic data is relevant for you to track too. This allows you to effectively gauge performance over time and make data-driven decisions.
The guide then circles back nicely to competitive analysis, emphasizing how integrating this ongoing understanding fuels your overall strategy.
That's right. It's not a one-and-done task. The landscape is always changing. Continuously monitoring competitors and emerging players gives you valuable inspiration and helps you optimize your own efforts.
And the guide highlights key questions competitive analysis can help answer.
Yes, things like, who is their core target demographic? Which marketing channels drive the most engagement and growth for them? How strong is your brand loyalty and awareness compared to theirs? Are there potential business partnerships you're missing?
Getting insights there really helps you connect better with your own audience.
Precisely. Understanding what resonates with their audience helps you tailor your own content and strategies to be more relevant, more engaging, more satisfying for your target audience, helping you hit your own goals.
The guide mentions different analysis frameworks, like SWOT.
Yes, SWOT, strategic group analysis, customer journey mapping. But it wisely advises starting simple, focusing on the most impactful steps first, especially for small businesses. Don't get bogged down in complex frameworks right away.
And remember those different types of competitors, direct, indirect, comparators.
Exactly. Keep that broader perspective when analyzing.
The guide then lays out clear steps for conducting this ongoing analysis.
Yes. Identify your key competitors. Study their marketing strategies across different channels. Compare the results to industry benchmarks if possible. And crucially, always highlight new opportunities this analysis reveals for your business goal.
And it suggests segmenting the analysis, looking at direct and indirect competitors separately.
Absolutely. Direct competitors offer a clear benchmark. Indirect competitors can inspire alternative, innovative strategies for reaching the same audience or meeting their needs differently.
The guide also stresses analyzing competitors' website traffic and engagement metrics.
Yeah, that gives you data on traffic volume, traffic quality, how engaged their audience is, helps identify which of their strategies seem most effective at driving meaningful interaction.
And it lists examples of competitor types to analyze.
Yes, industry leaders, brands with similar content, websites competing for the same search queries, sites your target audience visits regularly, even if they aren't direct product service competitors.
This broader view helps avoid only looking at the obvious players, and understanding their successes and failures is valuable.
It truly is. Avoid their mistakes. Learn from their wins. Make data-driven decisions, not guesses. Compare your data to theirs. Honestly assess your strengths and weaknesses.
And conduct broader market research, too.
Exactly. Get context beyond direct competitors. Understand industry trends and benchmarks. See where you outperform or where you have opportunities to catch up.
And the guide makes it very clear. Competitive analysis isn't a one-time thing.
Crucial point. The landscape constantly evolves. Competitors adapt. You need to continuously monitor, track new initiatives, update your competitor list. It's ongoing.
And to keep it focused, the guide suggests concentrating on key strategic questions.
Yes, like which channels drive the most traffic for them? What content resonates most with their audience? Where does most of their traffic come from? Search, social, ads. Which search queries drive the most valuable engagement for them? Vital info to inform your own strategy.
Okay, so now that our listener has a solid strategic foundation, understands the competitive landscape, the guide transitions into the actual digital marketing techniques they can start using.
That's the exciting part, moving from theory to practical application. And the guide rightly points out how relatively easy it can be to experiment with different ideas across digital channels, social media, search engines, your own website.
And one of the big advantages is that quick feedback loop, right?
Absolutely. Most digital campaigns give you real-time or near real-time feedback. You can quickly identify what's working best, what's delivering ROI, and then test, learn, optimize continuously.
Let me dive into some specifics the guide highlights. It starts with SEO, search engine optimization, a term everyone's heard, but many still find intimidating.
SEO is fundamental, making sure your website gets seen when potential customers search online for answers or solutions related to your business. It's about optimizing your website to improve its ranking in organic search results for relevant keywords.
And Google is still the big player here.
Overwhelmingly, nearly 90% of desktop searches. So looking at Google's own SEO guide makes a lot of sense. Our guide also briefly explains Google's indexing, how their spiders crawl the web, collect info, categorize content, and rank it based on many factors.
So what are some key attributes Google considers when ranking content?
Several important ones. Content needs to be relevant, updated regularly, using words people actually search for. Easy to read, avoid image-based headlines, use accurate image-video descriptions. Credibility is big backlinks from other reputable sites act like endorsements.
Okay.
Honesty is key, no hidden keywords or shady tricks. Your site's build matters, easy navigation, properly named links, minimal intrusive stuff, accuracy, no typos or broken links, and absolutely critical today, mobile friendly. Responsive design is favored due to all the mobile searching.
That's a lot to consider. Now, to see how your current site stacks up, the guide recommends an SEO audit. What does that involve?
An SEO audit is basically a systematic checkup. It determines how SEO-friendly your site is by reviewing those critical factors, identifying errors or issues hindering performance. The goal is improving your site's quality in Google's eyes.
And the guide outlines some basic, actionable steps for this audit.
Yes. Start by exporting all your website pages to a spreadsheet. Sort by most visited. Take your keyword categories and see which best fits each page. Add that category to a column next to the page name. Add another column for keywords you aren't yet covering well.
Then what?
Then prioritize working with those keywords on your key pages. Focus on optimizing title descriptions, what shows in search results, headings and content on the page, image titles and alt text, and the page URLs themselves. Exploring free online SEO analysis tools can be a good starting point too, just to get an initial overview.
So it's a practical process, Assess, then optimize specific elements. Now, it's also important what not to do. The guide mentions avoiding search penalties.
Absolutely. Strongly advises against deceptive tactics. Hiding keywords, keyword stuffing, unnaturally repeating keywords, trying to rank for irrelevant terms. These are outdated, easily detected, and will get you penalized, hurting your visibility.
And ultimately, search engines just want to provide a good experience for searchers, right?
Exactly. User experience is increasingly critical for rankings. Their goal is providing the best, most relevant, user-friendly results. So your SEO strategy should always prioritize the human visitor first. Search optimization helps those visitors find your great experience.
That leads perfectly into user experience, or UX, on your website. It's not just getting people there, but what happens once they arrive.
That's absolutely right. Your website is a prime chance to showcase your brand, connect with customers, provide info, valuable content, and an easy way to purchase or connect further. The guide defines conversion rate, the percentage of visitors who become leads, maybe by filling out a form. Keeping an eye on this and trying to improve it is key.
So good UX leads to more visitors taking that desired action.
Precisely. Prioritizing UX means making it easy for visitors to find what they need, feel confident buying from you, and stay connected, maybe sign up for a newsletter. Monitor user behavior. Where do they click? How long do they stay on pages?
And certain metrics can be red flags for poor UX.
Yes. A high bounce rate, people leaving after one page, or short time spent on page, say under 30 seconds, often suggests visitors aren't finding what they need or hitting usability issues. Time to investigate and improve UX on those pages.
So investing in good UX has benefits beyond just happy visitors.
Absolutely. Good UX can reduce the need for massive traffic if visitors convert easily. It's cost-effective, better ROI on ad spend, builds brand loyalty, encourages repeat visits, it involves smart design, ease of use, and it's ongoing. Continuous monitoring and improvement based on user behavior.
And the guide gives some basic good UX principles.
Yes. Update content regularly to meet audience needs. Test website speed every second counts. Aim for faster loading, maybe simpler design. Optimize CTAs, make them clear, appealing, logically placed. Ensure mobile friendliness, automatic scaling, good touch swipe function. Often the best UX is the simplest structure and design.
Okay, so organic search optimization is vital long-term. But what about getting immediate attention? The guide moves to paid search ads.
Right. While SEO improves organic ranking over time, paid search ads can get you to the top of search results much faster. It uses the pay-per-click PPC model. You only pay when someone actually clicks your ad.
And getting your ads in those top spots.
It involves an automated option. Your bid for keywords matters, but so does the quality and relevance of your ad, and your website's landing page SEO principles play a role here too.
So there are pros and cons to paid search.
Definitely. Pros: fast results compared to organic, precise targeting by keyword and region. Cons: competitive keywords can get expensive, ads are usually text only, limiting visual appeal.
For a small business just starting with paid search, what are some getting started tips?
Use platforms like Google Ads. Yahoo Bing are options too. Do thorough keyword research. What terms do your ideal customers use? Start specific. Think hand-knitted Angora sweaters. North London, not just knitwear. Write compelling ad copy, grab attention, encourage clicks, set a maximum daily budget. Popular keywords cost more per click. Use the platform's conversion tracking tools, diligently see what's working. Iterate on keywords if ads aren't driving traffic or sales. Quality leads click and are actually looking for what you offer.
Now, moving beyond search ads, the guide discusses display advertising. How is this different?
Display advertising is more about building broader brand awareness. Your ads appear on various websites people visit across the internet, not just search results pages. You usually buy these through ad servers, which use search history and click data to identify relevant sites and users to show your ads to.
And small businesses can manage these through Google too.
Yes. The Google Display Network covers over 2 million websites. You can create, post, manage, track ads there. Ad quality matters for placement here too.
What are some essential getting started tips for display ads?
Choose compelling images or videos to grab attention. Make it clear where users click and what happens next homepage. Product page. Track clicks and conversions religiously. Pause placements that don't yield clicks. Increase spend on high-converting ones.
And the pros and cons of display advertising.
Pros: wide reach, that huge Google network. Easy targeting, contextual or audience-based, visually appealing, text, image, video, interactive formats. Cons: less control over exact ad placement, relying on algorithms. Struggles against ad blockers. Payment models are often CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. CPA, cost per acquisition, or CPC, cost per click.
Social media is obviously huge. The guide covers sponsored social posts.
Yeah, having a good social media presence is pretty much essential now. Paying to promote your best posts can get them in front of non-followers. Some platforms even allow CTAs like Buy Now right in the sponsored post.
And the targeting on social media can be incredibly precise, right?
Absolutely. Target by interest on Facebook, user network on Twitter, job description on LinkedIn. Really granular ways to reach specific segments of your ideal audience.
For a small business dipping their toes into sponsored social posts, key getting started tips.
Choose networks where your buyer personas are active. Optimize and test your organic content first to see what resonates before paying to boost it. Experiment with special offers or simple CPAs. Maybe test offer CTAs organically first. Start simple image video posts, track clicks follows before trying more complex formats.
And the pros and cons here.
Pros: often inexpensive, CPCs can be very low. Effective, often higher click-through rates than website banner ads. Easy to set up and run campaigns.
Con.
Community management is crucial. Be ready for diverse opinions. Remember, some users find business messages intrusive, so content must be respectful and valuable.
Now, this next one might not be top of mind for many, but the guide makes a compelling case. Text marketing.
It's true, but the data highlighted is pretty striking. Podium's data shows incredibly high open rates. 95% of texts read within 3 minutes.
Wow, that's huge engagement.
Exactly. And despite that, adoption by local small businesses is still low, only around 12%. So it's a potentially cost-effective, high-engagement strategy for those who use it. Allows for direct, personal communication, easier engagement.
And consumers seem more open to texts from local businesses.
Yes. Research suggests higher trust, making consumers 45% more likely to opt in for promotional texts from local small businesses compared to larger competitors. That trust is a big advantage.
What are the key benefits of text marketing outlined in the guide?
Higher response rates than phone, email, even Facebook. Higher conversion rates, 10x more likely to redeem text coupons. Increased convenience. Most consumers feel texting makes interacting with local businesses easier, and often lower costs compared to other digital campaigns.
Of course, you need contacts, and the guide stresses getting explicit opt-in.
Absolutely critical. Just like email, you need clear permission before sending promotional texts. Integrate opt-in opportunities naturally throughout the customer journey.
The guide gives good examples of where to capture opt-ins.
Yes. Website touchpoints, ask chat users, offer opt-in during checkout, follow up positive reviews with an opt-in offer, hybrid touchpoints, text to join keywords on signage, QR codes, sign-up stations at events or in-store.
And once you have a list, don't just blast generic messages. Segmentation is key.
Crucial for personalized, effective messaging. 2 simple methods: behavioral segmentation, based on past purchases, engagement, and demographic segmentation, useful for multiple locations, birthday offers, location-based promos.
And timing matters for text campaigns.
Seems so. Revenue tends to be higher in the afternoon, evening, click-through rates too. Create a content calendar for campaigns around holidays, seasonal events. These often work well.
Finally, like email, there are important compliance rules for text marketing.
Absolutely paramount. Responsible data use. Avoid spam. Adhere to regulations like TCPA and PDPA. Always include a clear opt-out option and honor it. Inform about potential messaging fees. Ensure proper consent. Use your business name in messages.
Moving to a more established technique, email marketing. Still important.
Definitely. Nurturing relationships with existing customers via email is just as critical as acquiring new ones. Regularly contact loyal followers with more than just product promos.
What types of emails should businesses consider sending?
Newsletters, brand awareness, drive traffic. Seasonal emails, holidays, birthdays stay top of mind. Exclusive offers make loyal customers feel special. Reminders, expiring subscriptions. Flash announcements, short-term discounts to drive sales.
And growing your email list.
Optimize your other digital efforts. Blog, social media, paid campaigns to drive traffic to conversion-optimized landing pages specifically for signups. User-friendly email services like HubSpot help design emails, manage lists, track analytics, opens, clicks.
And every email needs a clear objective.
Absolutely. Have a goal for every send. A/B test subject lines, see what readers click on, continuously refine based on engagement.
Pros and cons of email marketing.
Pros: fast to develop send, build strong relationships, personalized communication, cost-effective. Cons: risk of being ignored, email overload, high consequences for irrelevant emails, unsubscribes.
Lastly, the guide briefly touches on native advertising. What's that exactly?
Ads designed to resemble the surrounding content. Many social media ads are native if their style matches the platform. Sponsored content like articles on publisher sites, think BuzzFeed, is another key form. For small businesses, maybe collaborating with relevant third-party blog sites with similar audiences, publishing your content as a clearly disclosed ad.
So ads that feel less interruptive, more integrated. Now, as we wrap up our deep dive, the guide offers some final thoughts.
Yes, it reiterates you now have lots of ideas to implement. Stresses being ready to adapt based on results, experimenting, tracking in real time. And crucially, don't be afraid to start or to fail. Failure is part of learning and improving.
So bringing it all together, this deep dive shows digital marketing is powerful, often cost-effective for small businesses to compete and grow. But it needs a strategic, adaptable approach.
That's right. It's not about doing everything at once. Understand the principles, pick strategies aligning with your goals and audience, then commit to testing, measuring, refining based on real results.
So we really encourage you, our listener, take that first step. Explore how you can leverage these insights for your business. Consistent effort, learning, adapting, that's crucial for long-term success.
And here's a thought to mull over. How might consistently analyzing your competitors' strategies, really digging in, unlock hidden opportunities for your own business's growth that you haven't even considered yet?
We sincerely hope this deep dive has given you a clearer, more actionable understanding of digital marketing for small businesses. We're genuinely curious. What aspects discussed today will you be exploring further for your own business?